Speak to Ali Fathollah-Nejat, who is a visiting fellow at the Brookings Doha Center, and he joins us now live from Berlin. Great to have you on the show, Ali. First of all, it's nearly 24 hours since Donald Trump gave that press conference, and it seems, I repeat, it seems that things have, gone quiet. How do you read this seeming pause that we have right now in tensions?
Well, what Donald Trump has said basically reflects the United States' interest to avoid a full-blown war with Iran. What Iran did 2 nights ago was also reflecting Iranian interests to avoid a full-blown war with the United States. After all, the Iranians calibrated their missile attacks onto those Iraqi bases housing U.S. personnel to avoid casualties. So the strike 2 nights ago was primarily for domestic consumption in Iran. It was portrayed to be a severe revenge for the killing of General Soleimani, and it was sold that way for a domestic constituents or part of the domestic constituents who had called for a swift and severe response. So there is some satisfaction on the Iranian side. So a major escalation has now been avoided, but we still might see some kind of low-level tensions, further down. But a major escalation has for now been avoided because of the two sides' core interests.
Okay. And we were just speaking to my colleague Sarah in Iraq. We also have Turkey's foreign minister in Iraq today. How do you see Turkey's role right now between the US and Iran?
Well, Turkey should, of course, try its best to avoid an escalation of tensions between Iran and the United States, with both of whom Turkey has very good relationships. So it should use that kind of contacts that it has. And so this is basically the core, which would also serve, of course, Turkish interests to avoid a large-scale conflagration in that region.
And Ali, you mentioned earlier we could see low-level tensions going forward. Would you say that Iraq is now the new battlefield?
Well, it is de facto a battlefield. I mean, after all, the Iranian missiles hit Iraqi territory. So the worst fears of the Iraqis has now somehow materialized, that Iraq is now at the spotlight of Iran-US tensions. We'll see the political dynamics that come out of it within Iraq. It seems on the Iraqi side that the political establishment is very much adamant to divert attention from the popular uprising that we've seen in Iraq since October by focusing on the US-Iran conflict, by fanning the flames of anti-Americanism as well. So this is also an interesting development to watch when it comes to the dynamics between, on one side, the popular uprising, and on the other side, the maneuvering of the political class that is still very much pro-Iranian. And
on that subject, Iraq is weak, we could call it that. It has an interim government. How does Iraq strengthen its governance to protect itself, even fend off influence from Iran?
Well, you're absolutely right that the way forward would be to strengthen the Iraqi security forces. But the problem remains that the political class that we have in Iraq is still very much, close to the Iranian side. And so the United States could play a role here in engaging in sincere talks with the Iraqi government to seek ways in which the Iraqis could assert their sovereignty.
All right.
And for that, perhaps Turkey could play a positive role.
Indeed. Ali, thank you very much indeed. Ali Fathollah-Nejat, we appreciate you speaking and sharing your perspective with us here. Thank you.